Welcome back to the second part of day 2 of the Israel Mobile Summit. Coming up next, we have probably one of the hottest topics that's currently in particularly the gaming space, and that is NFT the future of in-game purchases? I'm going to go to Danny Lee, who's joining us with the panel. Danny Lee, this is a huge topic. I'm sure you've all got a lot to say, so I'm just going to hand it straight over to you.
Thank you so much. So hello, everyone, and welcome to Israel Mobile Summit 2021. I'm Danny Ziser from IGN Israel, and I'm very excited and honored for you to join us today on our special panel that will be focused on the burning question, is NFT is the future of in-game purchases? And to answer on that question, we collided the top experts on their field to help us learn and dive a little bit deeper to the subjects of NFT gaming, crypto in mobile gaming, and industry, of course. So you know what? With no further ado, let us start with a quick round of introduction of our amazing guests for today's panel. Federico, let's start with you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Federico Paderni. I lead the country. I'm the country manager for the Israeli market at Twitter. Very excited to be with all of you today.
Yes, Tomer.
Hello guys, my name is Tomer Nuni. I'm the CMO of Kryptomon, the living NFT gaming metaverse. Come from Israel.
Yes, Manish.
Hi guys, good evening from Mumbai, India. I'm talking and joining this session from Mumbai. Would have loved to be in person there, but this whole COVID thing kind of really screws up, and I hope it finishes quickly. So I run a company called Nazara, which is India's only listed gaming company. I'm very excited to be part of this panel. And as Denny said, the hottest topic, let's kind of dissect it.
Yes, we are excited as well. Arslan, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hey guys, I'm Arslan. So actually, I'm co-founder of Hungri Games. So we are actually preparing an IGO for NFT gaming space. I'm actually coming from a traditional gaming background, mostly Web2 gaming, and yeah.
This is great. And last but not least, Berker, how you doing? Introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Berker. I'm a content manager for Babylons. We are a gaming NFT marketplace. We actually started as an art marketplace, but we sort of quickly transitioned to the gaming space.
Yes, indeed. This is a great success, and we're going to hear all about it. So let's start with the hottest question today, guys. Are blockchain games and NFTs are the future of mobile gaming industry? So let's start with you, Federico.
Well, look, to kick off, I actually would like to quote a tweet that I was reading yesterday by Gal Shir, who is an incredible NFT artist, an Israeli NFT artist. And in his tweet, he was saying every kid's dream is to being an imaginary character playing with another imaginary characters in an imaginary world. And it says, wait, I'm living the dream. This is actually NFT Twitter, right? And I believe actually that's very true. I think it's great to be with this panel because we have we will get a great insights from game developers and how the two words collides. Those two words actually are colliding on Twitter already. We see incredible growth in terms of conversation. And just in the first half of this year, we have seen more than 29 million tweets about NFTs, which is an outstanding number, and we see this keep growing over the years, and we expect this to grow next year as well. And all these tweets come from artists, celebrities, business leaders, creators, and obviously everyday enthusiasts. So it's really an ecosystem and a community that is growing very, very fast on our platform. So it's extremely is extremely exciting. I think on how Twitter is actually engaging with this community and exploring this opportunity. I think we see the overall space of crypto, blockchain, and NFTs are very much aligned with the product bets that we are doing around creators monetization, new ways of self-expression, and everything that we are doing with game developers. So I think it's a brilliant trajectory, and again the conversation is happening on our platform.
Yes, and I like Gal yourself as well. Tomer, Nuni, the mic is.
Hey, yes, so definitely, I think that NFT is the future of gaming, of course, as an NFT gaming company. And as my friend Federico just said, the quote was quite precise. What NFT does is enables you to uniquely own the digital asset that you have online. So it's not a copy; it's one unique asset that is yours that can bring to life also, like we are doing in Kryptomon, for example, bring to life this pet of yours or your virtual companion that every child that dreamt of while he was playing video games. So yes, definitely NFTs are the future of gaming and mobile games.
Okay, now I will pass the mic to Manish. What do you say?
So Danny, I think in gaming, and like Arslan was saying, we all spent considerable amount of our growing years in building games, designing games, and owning a virtual item has been part of your game design forever. But the challenge which have been, especially in markets like India and other emerging markets, is there is no value of that asset beyond which really helps you in progressing in the game. Now with NFTs, which you can really own it, like what Tomer was saying, that you have the ownership, you have transparency of it, you can really kind of trade it outside. Suddenly the whole play to earn meets entertainment becomes such an exciting opportunity for the users. Like India has 500 million gamers, but now they have a reason for them to purchase enough purchases and kind of really trade it in secondary market. I think that's what excites me and fascinates me with this opportunity.
Yes, it sounds amazing. I'm really interested to see what's going to happen in the Indian market with NFTs. So let's pass the mic to Arslan.
Well, yeah, I mean, I agree with the guys, but like I have just one opinion, like saying that I mean the NFT game is already present for me, like because it's already happening, and also like someone being in the gaming industry for a long time, like I experienced this whole free-to-play transition to like the mobile and from mobile to NFT now. So I can say that there was always like a skepticism, like when we had this free-to-play concept when it started like 10 years ago. People were saying, console games like subscription-based games have higher potential and stuff, and it all happened in sudden. So I think I see the same trend now right now with the NFT gaming as well, and especially like as Manish mentioned, like emerging markets are gonna lead this wave, and is already leading this wave, like what's happening in Philippines with Axie, and also like countries like India, like big Latin American countries and stuff. I think we already see like numbers are growing there. It's already like present for some part of the market.
Indeed. Berker?
I will just be mostly agreeing with Manish and Arslan at this point. I think the play to earn aspect is what's driving the industry at this point. And what we see with the emergence of organizations like gaming guilds, as well as scholarship programs, NFT lending and everything, this is quickly becoming a way to actually make a living for a lot of people. And I think that's the most interesting part, especially when you consider emerging markets and countries with currencies that are currently having some issues. I can name one.
Okay.
Being from Turkey.
Okay. So you know what? Let's leave that on the side. And that's what brings me to our next question. How do you think that 2022 is going to look for mobile blockchain gaming industry? Federico, we'll start with you.
Sorry, let me kick this off. Well, look, again, from a platform perspective, like I expect, as I said, like one of the key metrics to measure communities obviously is the volume of conversation, right? So I mentioned earlier the 29 million tweets about NFTs. I think we will see like an incredible growth next year. Just to give you a comparison as well, we have seen more than 2 billion tweets in 2020 about gaming specifically. So the growth and the sheer volume of conversation is just fantastic, and I expect this trend to continue next year. From a platform perspective, I think next year we will see some progress from Twitter to facilitate to facilitate the ecosystem to grow on our platform. I think like a few folks that have been chatting here, they were like, obviously they gave us like insight on what is actually going to work in terms of like, for instance, NFT to like earn to play and stuff like that. I think Berker was mentioning the NFT drops dynamics that obviously will happen more and more with gaming players. It's funny to see that actually I think like Twitter was one of the first company doing NFTs drops a few months back, where we kind of like shared 20 plus NFTs with our users, seeing like, again, incredible engagement. I think like from a product perspective, the biggest things that we expect to happen in the next like 6 to 9 months is everything around NFTs authentication. So this is like a work in progress already in place, and the idea again is to basically verify the ownership of an NFT, any type of NFT, with like Twitter, with a Twitter profile. I think again that will grow, will help the ecosystem to grow. And the second aspect, obviously, is from a technological perspective. We recently hired Tess Rinerson, which is like will be our head of crypto engineering, and her job will be again to understand how Twitter can help growing the NFTs and crypto ecosystem, but also how the ecosystem can grow, can help Twitter in our product development, right? So very excited about next year, and I will not be surprised if all the trends says that like it's a space that will grow.
Yes, definitely. Tomer?
Yeah, well, I think that definitely 2022 is going to be the year that the NFT gaming will take over, because once you start playing play to earn games, or as we like to say, play and earn games, because at the end of the day you need to play a game and enjoy it, and not just play to earn. So once you do start to play the NFT games, and you feel the real experience of owning your gun, your pet, your warrior, your whatever NFT utility you use in the game, it's quite hard to go back, because it doesn't just stay virtual somewhere out there and you have something that everybody has. You have something that is completely unique of your own. The experience becomes completely different. And I think that in 2022, I believe that the NFT and blockchain gaming is going to do to gaming what social media has done to the internet. I think the effect is going to be that strong. And as my friends here already said, we're going to see a completely new economy being created and developed around NFT gaming utilities, land, and other virtual goods that you will be able to own in the metaverse. So 2022 is definitely going to be huge for NFT games.
Yes, and it comes very soon, Tomer.
Indeed,
Manish,
yes.
give us your opinion.
I think this is exactly what disruption some of us who have been around in gaming have seen in 2010-11, when what Arslan also talking about, movement from paid subscription to free. And I think the same kind of disruption we are seeing happening now all around. And it's going to happen. You have billions of dollars being poured into this. You are seeing the NFTs creating that whole play. And I like Tomara, I'm going to use that play, and that's the essence of a gaming guy. Play to earn, can have many betting connotations also, but play and earn is essentially beautiful. Thanks for that. So you will have loads and loads of content being created, which allows you to play and entertain and earn. And I think one important aspect which will emerge is interoperability. Each one of us will try to really create a game, and then NFTs, it will become very difficult for users. You will see a kind of explosion of people which can create interoperable assets or interoperable tools or things which can really help you do that. And then at the end, like in a country like India, in last 40 days, I've seen some 30, 40 NFT blockchain gaming companies emerging, 3, 4 developers trying to kind of really make that happen. How do you really create infrastructure as service for all of them to really come to the market very quickly? What kind of frameworks, tools, enablers will happen? So I think we are seeing a whole ecosystem being created. What we saw in 2010, 11 is now getting replicated again.
Yes, yes, indeed. Arslan?
Yeah, I think in terms of platforms and mobile, I think we will see like big changes, and I see like a big opportunity there, especially on the mobile space, because currently actually the NFT gaming, the entry barrier is quite difficult for gamers. So they cannot. I mean, if you want to play a game, like let's say like Axie or Zetron or any game which is like pumping out right now. So it takes like ages to get in there. Not all of the gamers have this MetaMask installed, and they don't have like maybe the crypto world integrated and stuff. I think with the mobile gaming companies coming into that scene, and like some new technologies and integrations coming up, we will see a big increase on the user numbers as well, because right now it's still like we still don't have like this optimized version of like platform experience for gaming perspective. But I think in the new year, so we will see like definitely a lot of increase on that area.
Yes, yes, indeed. And Berker?
Yes, I think in terms of mobile blockchain gaming and the platforms, I think it's possible that we see something, if not in the next year, in the next couple of years. We see something that's similar to what Steam did in the traditional gaming industry, or Spotify did in the music industry. Some sort of monopolization and some sort of like, let's say, basic universal infrastructure. I think that may be coming, because right now, yes, everything is decentralized, but also UX-wise, it's a bit complicated for users and it's hard to get into. So I think that's one possibility. Something else I'd like to say is that we are seeing a boom in terms of like the numbers of games that are being created. I am personally in business development in Babylon, and I am in contact with a lot of projects, and I see around like 5 to 10 projects each day. And I think there will be some kind of purge about this, some kind of, if you'd say like a bear market or something, but I think we are going to have to select for quality at some point, and I will be seeing some of these projects fail in the near future. That's what I think as well.
Yes, yes, thank you. Great answer. The next question is, okay, that brings me to that. What do you think is the main challenge for blockchain games to dominate the mobile industry? Federico?
Yeah, look, on this, I think I will connect again like with what Berker was mentioning, because I think it kind of like gave already like half of my answer, I believe. I think like the challenge next year is going to be like a similar to what we have seen in terms of trends over the last couple of years, which is like saturation and attention span, right? Like the number of titles is ever increasing, and capturing new user is always more challenging. I don't have like a clear opinion on how this translates on user acquisition cost. We have seen again with like industry changes that those like increased over the last after the ATT changes this year. And I think like again back to what Berker was mentioning, I think like the challenge for next year on blockchain games and more broadly on games is again how to find your own audience and really push in that direction. We work with like all the biggest all the biggest, obviously, game developers in Israel. And the type of activities that they do on our platform is, again, trying to launch new titles on Twitter, trying to find their own audiences. Fortunately enough, we are like a global platform, so that's quite straightforward to do. And I think that will continue to be the challenge next year.
I would like to elaborate on what Federico just said. So first of all, he's completely correct. Again, as a chief marketing officer of a blockchain game company, one of the obstacles that we encounter is indeed the user acquisition part. It's first of all, it's very hard to get some kind of an advertisement to start running on traditional platforms, because most of them automatically, the systems are blocking everything that relates to NFTs or crypto, due to all of the scams that we've seen back in the day in 2016, 2017, during various ICOs that have been around, and due to the fact that most of the stuff is anonymous. So a lot of scams in the crypto world. We understand why we're being blocked so much, but it makes life very hard for us as a company. And for me, for example, as the chief marketing officer, to start running ads on these platforms. I really need, and I've been doing this for maybe the last 20 years, and I need to approach each and every one of them personally to be approved so we can start running ads. So that's one of the obstacles that we see. Again, there's of course the problem of tracking the users, because you need to track a user that has a browser wallet installed in order to get him to use your app. So this is another obstacle. Everything in crypto, again, is completely anonymous. So we don't know who you are. We don't know what you've done. Best case scenario, we can see an IP and we can see a wallet address at the end if we know how to track it correctly with the technology that we're developing now in-house in order to do so. An obstacle. Third obstacle, which is it relates to what my friend said before, is the problem of getting on board in the crypto world. Getting on board is not an easy task nowadays. Again, it's like the first days of the internet. It was quite hard, to get a computer, then get a modem, get an internet line, connecting online, getting a CD from someone to install a web browser, knowing how to find addresses of websites. So we're in this term in the crypto world. You need to install a wallet, an Ethereum wallet, then you need to install, for most games, it's Binance Smart Chain, Solana, or Polygon, but mainly Binance Smart Chain network that you need to manually install into your MetaMask. And then you need to transfer gas. So it's like Ethereum, so they transfer BNB on Binance Smart Chain. You need to buy that, and then you need to buy the coins, and then you need to switch them to NFTs. The whole onboarding procedure is still not friendly enough. And I think that the challenge is going to be solved not by us, but soon by the platform providers, by the operating system providers.
Yes, hopefully, because that's a big challenge. Manish?
I think it's been well covered, so I would kind of pass this question.
Okay, Arslan?
Yeah, same actually. Yeah, I totally agree with Tomer and Frederico on that point.
Yeah, same.
Okay.
So, Tomer, I think.
Okay, Tomer, thank you for answer for all of us. No, just kidding. Oh, okay, so that brings me to my next question. You're talking about gas prices. So Ethereum gas prices are skyrocketing, guys. How do you handle with this problem on your markets and games? Let's start with you, Tomer, this time.
Okay, well, that's also an easy one for me to answer from our experience as a game. So it really depends which kind of an NFT you're generating and how much you're going to interact with it, because this will affect the gas prices, of course. If it's an NFT, a utility NFT, like a game tool, so you're going to interact with it a lot. So you wouldn't want to be on Ethereum, because if I will send an attack command and then a defense command, and then I will have to resolve, I've sent 3 transactions that might come up at something like $200, $300. So we're using Binance Smart Chain for the solution, an Ethereum fork that costs maybe a fraction of that cost. And that's how we're handling it. It costs about 20 to 30 cents to send a transaction over Binance Smart Chain. In Polygon, it can be cents. In Solana, it can also be a few cents. So all of these solutions, the new networks that are rising now, will definitely give a solution to fight the rising crazy Ethereum prices.
Yes, yes, indeed. Berker, I want to give you that question now.
I will again mirror what Tomer said because we are also on the BSC. And yeah, so we don't have the problems that Ethereum-based platforms have. The thing that I'd be careful about though, with say Solana or Polygon with these newer chains is that for all its problems, BSC is at least working at scale at this moment. We are not sure how will Solana look, for example, if it were to work at the scale the BSC is. So I think last week we had the Solchix TGE, and it was kind of a big event in the Solana space, and it was kind of a disaster in that it took one full day to like complete everything, airdrop the tokens. It's completely shut down the Solana network for a while. So there are newer chains and they provide some hope and they can be good, but we need to see them working at full scale as well. So there, I think BSC is best positioned for the gaming industry at this point, for what we know.
Thank you. Manish, you want to
just say that I must agree for everything that he just said. I must agree regarding BSC.
In fact, I have a question for Tomer. Do you see that as the gas prices are a big friction point, especially in markets like India, which are very price sensitive?
Yes, of course.
Because because all the positives which we discussed, but if ultimately the friction of payment is like the initial investment which you are expecting a person to really do, that can be a big bummer on the whole opportunity side, and that's where I think the solutions needs to emerge for it to really become a mass adoption.
Completely. We have a lot of users. We have most of our users are North American, European, and of course from Southeast Asia, and a lot from India. Actually, our community success manager is an Indian from Mumbai, maybe somewhere around you. Yeah, regarding gas prices, that's a complete showstopper. If someone needs to send a few transactions on Ethereum, and in order to purchase, let's say, a character in the game that costs $100 and needs to pay something like $70 for gas, it makes no sense. And the wait times are awful. While on, for example, Binance Smart Chain, which we are using and also Berker is using for their marketplace, it will take maybe 3 seconds and it will cost fraction of the price. It will cost you maybe 15, 20 cents. So completely, when you start developing a game, one of the most important things you can do is take into consideration gas prices costs, one, scalability, and stability, of course, of the network.
Yeah. And also as a gamer, the biggest thing is I'm in the zone, I'm in the moment, I can't wait. If I have to buy, I have to play and buy. I'm not just kind of waiting and sitting there. Like wait for 17 minutes and then your item will come. That will completely kill the game experience.
Yes. Well, for example, in OpenSea, if you try to purchase something on Ethereum on OpenSea, to bid on something, you might have tried sending your bid that for something that already been sold and your transaction still hasn't been resolved. So you can find yourself sometimes waiting even 10, 15 minutes with MetaMask open just to send out your bid or trying to purchase something and someone else already took it. So Berker probably knows it very well from their own marketplace. It can be very, very, very frustrating. So you're completely right. When you want something, you want to buy it now, you need it now.
Yeah, time and money is a big factor here. Arslan, do you have something to say about that subject as well?
Yeah, I think that gas price optimization, I mean, I see also a lot of other, exchanges coming up into that space. Like AVAX is also one of the, attractive ones with smaller gas things, details. So I think once it's updated, we see the growth also more and more in the gamer side. So I think as long as we, next year, once the NFT gaming is booming, so we will see a lot of new exchanges coming into the platform, and then those processes needs to be optimized, because otherwise we won't see like the huge growth on the NFT gaming side, because it's killing the whole gamer experience. Like you cannot really enjoy the game. I mean, it's just like a trading platform.
Yeah, totally agree. Okay, next question, you guys. What is the most important thing required for blockchain game to succeed? This time I will start with Manish.
I think understanding of it, first of all, because I'm seeing so much of noise all around, where people are trying to, in the whole urge to really raise money and get some funding and all of it, they really don't understand the concepts. And you're trying to pass a Web 2.0 going game with some packaging around it. And I think as more and more ecosystem really becomes mature, that's not going to fly. So to all the audiences, I would just request that there isn't a shortcut which you should really look for, and understand the underlying principles and then adopt it into the core game design before you are really kind of coming out and pitching your game.
Okay, thank you. Berker.
I mean, we are seeing a similar thing to what happened in the recent years with the DeFi boom, and now we are having a GameFi boom, and we are seeing the same rug pulls, the same experiences. So I think these are growing pains in a way, and they will happen, and at some point they will stop happening. But also this means that the huge weird ideas with like 100x gains that also has to go away, and I think the market needs to become a bit more realistic. That's when we can have a stable ecosystem on which we can build actual games and products, because I don't want to say this, but most of the moment it comes from greed, and I don't think that's a healthy ecosystem. That I don't think that's sustainable either. So I think we have to go over these growing pains, and then we'll see.
Yes. Federico, do you have something to say about that as well?
Well, I think like for obviously the folks here, we have a mixed panel of like, game technologists, like marketing people and developer. Obviously, I think like the angle from a Twitter perspective that is used by game developers to again like to obviously acquire new users and make this like a game successful. I think the dynamics that we have seen over the last year and a half will not change tremendously with the blockchain like games. We're seeing like again a change in trajectory, where maybe like 3, 4, 5 years ago, the launch of a new games was equivalent to a big focus and push on user acquisition, and that was like the marketing strategy. That's it. And over the last year and a half, we are seeing like dynamics where game developer understand that there must be a more cohesive marketing strategy and acquisition strategy. So we are seeing more and more game developer, for instance, going upper into the funnel and doing more classic branding activities, telling a story to their users, and then in a second phase pushing more towards like user acquisitions, right? So I think that this will be a very important strategy for blockchain games. So this is what I expect to happen over the next year and a half.
Okay, thank you for that. Tomer.
Yeah, so from our humble experience, what a game needs, a blockchain game needs in order to succeed is first of all to pay a lot of attention to the community, to invest a lot of in its community, because at the end of the day, unlike traditional games, in crypto and blockchain games, the community, each and every one of the community has skin in the game. They hold your tokens, so they're investors of the company. They hold your NFTs. So again, investors in company assets. And the more you invest in nurturing their community, in communicating with it, engaging with it, taking them to engaging with them in AMAs, taking questions from them all the time, answering, and trying to manage, excuse me, not to manage, trying to maybe
facilitate,
make them feel that they're a part of the creation of this game and the company itself. The more you do that, the more chances I think a blockchain company has to succeed. And of course, on our end, we need to come up with a good game, good storytelling, good experience. That's also, of course, on us, as Federico said. And of course, we need to be able, at the end of the day, as a gaming company, to also be able to advertise our games, which is very hard on most traditional channels. Once that will be solved, then I think blockchain companies, the good ones, will for sure succeed. But if I need to mention one, it would be the community. Invest in the community.
Yeah, I'm aligned with Tomar actually. Like, I think the community building is quite important within the gaming. But I also see like a challenge on the NFT gaming side is like nowadays, if you look at the gaming, IGOs that is coming up, like 60-70% of them actually are not coming from a traditional gaming background. So they don't really have like this experience of launching games, publishing games, live ops, and so on. So I think nowadays, like the top games that we see in the NFT markets is more like a pay to earn concept. So like, you just pay for some, like amount of money, like you pay, like, for example, like you have to invest like $1,000, an accessibility to be able to earn like $300 on monthly basis, or $400. It's getting always changed.
Scholarships. It's called scholarships.
Yeah. And so that's pay to win, like pay to earn concept needs to be like changed a bit, like play to earn concept, because people need to also have this real gaming feeling experience, like to enjoy the thing, and that will also actually grow the whole gaming ecosystem. And currently, also what we see in the market is like a couple of big names like Sandbox and Gala. They are actually from gaming background, so they actually can deliver some gaming experience, and they are the ones pioneering the industry. But we don't really see like really high-end products, or like we don't really see like a proper gaming, feeling NFT game in the market yet. So I think that's going to be the challenge is coming up in the next year. And the ones who's coming from the traditional gaming background, who understands the gaming audience, who understands community building, and who knows how to build features for gamers, without having this pay to earn concept, I think they will win the race for the next year.
Yes, I agree. As a gamer, I need the hook to play and to earn. So the hook is the right word for that. So I think we should go to our personal questions. So I'm going to ask each and every one of you a special question that we created for you guys. So I want to start with Arslan this time. Okay, are you ready? So how do you plan to do the transition from traditional gaming to NFT gaming in Hungry games?
Yeah, I mean, it's the same topic that I just mentioned before. Like, I think we just, rely on the experience that we had in the past with the free-to-play gaming. Mm-hmm. So I think it's going to be, I mean, the NFT game that we're going to publish is going to be totally different than the ones that we are seeing right now. Mm-hmm. So we will also have this hybrid model of free-to-play to, play to earn concept, which is not really, introduced that much yet. I think, and also like having like this proper gaming ecosystem within the game, not like only like trading or like, simulation, racing and so on. So it's more like playing the game itself and crafting and grinding. And then, you have all these, RPG elements and also like, you know, even like SLG elements of the traditional gaming integrated to the play to earn concept. I think, I mean, our game will be differentiated on that aspect, actually.
Yes, great answer. Manish, this question is for you. How does Nazara Games plan to integrate the NFTs in its games?
First of all, Arslan, it's lovely to sit in an NFT and still think here grinding, crafting, uh, the good old ways of really making users engage. So, yep, that's you just can't get away if you're kind of designing games and you're looking at them. So, as far as we are concerned, we are really seeing and sitting in India where I think if not, we are number 2, number 3 market where the crypto craze has kind of taken over and people are trading in cryptocurrencies and the DAUs are 25, 30 million kind of stuff and across crypto platforms or more. My numbers may be dated or wrong. So we believe that picking up some local games, which really kind of excite people, and then figuring out how do we have play and earn aspects integrated into them. It could be a trivia game, which are localized content, or it could be a local sports simulation game where you can really create that. And eventually, can you create a sports metaverse with different stadiums and land and then stadiums and resource management? Like somebody said, we were playing SimCity forever in gaming, and resource management has a very popular genre. But that's a gradual evolution. We would like to kind of learn. This is all new. We would like to understand consumer behaviors with some small games, get them out, see how the whole friction. The more important thing is I want to solve friction here. Given in India, what kind of onboarding processes can we really create? How could we really get in 3 seconds to 30 seconds a person to the game? Because ultimately somebody is coming to play a game to get entertained, and how do we kind of quickly take them to do that? I think those are some of the frictions which we like to solve at Nazara level and figure it out. How do we really either give them as a dev ecosystem for the entire Indian gaming ecosystem to really take advantage of it? And that's where we would really first experiment with our own in-house games and then open it up.
Yes, thank you. Great answer. By the way, the free magical words here is grinding, RPG, and crafting. I'll tell you that. Use that, and I promise you're going to have tons of gamers here. So, Berker, this question is for you. As a Binance Smart Chain NFT marketplace, what do you think are the main advantages of Babylon's compared to Ethereum-based marketplaces?
Oh, I think that's an easy one, and that's one we went over. The gas prices, that's just what it is. And I think this really ties up. I think Manish said that most of the P2E gamers can't really tolerate high gas prices. So that's one way in which our choice of BSC was great, I think.
Yeah. Thank you so much. You know what, Tomer, this question is for you. On your website, you're calling Kryptomon's living NFTs. What does it mean? How does Kryptomon bring NFTs to life?
Okay, I will try to explain as briefly as I can to save time. So we are calling ourselves a living NFT because each NFT that's being created on the blockchain is 100% completely unique. That's what NFTs are. It's a 100% unique token that is being validated on the blockchain as authentic. So if you create something that is already unique, we gave it another layer of genetics. So in Kryptomon, we've created 38 genes that create this creature that you get, the Kryptomon that you get. Genes that will decide how big he will be, what color he will be, which breed he will be, how smart he will become, attack capabilities, defense capabilities, friendliness, craziness, laziness, you name it. 38 parameters that creating a 100% genetically unique creature, like you and I. There's no one else like us. We're unique by every aspect, by genes. That's what we've done with Kryptomon. And then we said to ourselves, okay, if we've created something that is 100% completely unique by genes, it's kind of alive. And then we created the Tamagotchi layer on top of it. So unlike your phone that you just close your phone and your characters are there, or your PlayStation, when you turn it off, all of your players are there and your items are there, the blockchain is always alive. It's always online. And so are your creatures. So we've added the Tamagotchi layer, so you will have to take care of it. Since the moment it hatched and you logged into the game with it, it becomes alive. You need to take care of it. You need to pet it. You need to train him. You need to educate him. You need to feed him. You need to clean after him. You need to take care of him if he's being wounded in battle or just sick or get sick from another Kryptomon. And if you won't do so, then he will become uneducated. He will become hungry, frustrated, angry, sick, etc., etc., etc. All of these make it alive. And that's why we're calling it a living NFT.
Okay, guys, our time is up. I had only one question even for Federico, but I guess we need to finish our panel. So sorry, but I'll ask you it in person. So guys, thank you so much. I feel so honored to have you here as our special guest, and thank you for all of our viewers today. We were like on IMS 2021. Okay, I'm so excited. We actually finished it off.
Sorry, Danny, I'm gonna have to cut you off there. This is obviously a huge topic, and we really need to check back in with you guys and continue this another time and have at least an hour, possibly even two, to get through all this. Even I had lots of questions that I'm not going to get to ask, so I'm really sorry. And thank you all for a great discussion, as the guys are saying in the chat. Thank you all ever so much.
Let's have a new panel next year.
Thank you all.